You are not real, but fake!
Did you know? Some of the people who say God isn't real once loved him the most. Some of the loudest critics of church once sat in the front row. This is the story of a boy who didn't stop believing in God. He just believed God stopped caring about him. Meet Daniel. He grew up in church, Sunday school, children's choir, memory verses, prayer before meals. He knew the Bible stories before he knew multiplication tables. Everyone said Daniel will become a great man of God. And he believed them. Because church felt like home. Until the day it didn't. Daniel was 15 when his father lost his job. Bills piled up. Food became scarce. The house became silent. So his mother went to church for help. Not money. Not miracles. Just support. Just prayer. But whispers travel fast in holy buildings. Maybe they didn't pay tithe. Maybe there's sin in that family. God is punishing them. Daniel heard the whispers. And something inside him cracked. Church stopped feeling like home. It started feeling like a courtroom. One Sunday, the pastor preached about faith and giving. Those who give to God will never lack. The congregation shouted, "Amen." Daniel sat quietly. Because his family had nothing left to give. After service, a church leader pulled his mother aside. "If you really trust God, you must continue giving." His mother smiled politely. But Daniel saw the tears she tried to hide. That was the day he learned something dangerous. People can use God's name and still break your heart. Months later, Daniel stopped attending church. At first, people called. Then they texted. Then they stopped. Just like that, he disappeared. No visit. No follow-up. No one asked why. Daniel reached a conclusion many young people reach today. If God really cared, his people would too. And slowly, his faith faded. Not in anger, but in silence. Years pass. Daniel grew up. Got a job. Made money. Built a life. And built walls. Whenever someone mentioned God, he smiled politely and said, "I don't do church anymore." He didn't say, "I was hurt. I was disappointed. I felt abandoned." Because pretending not to care hurts less. One night, everything changed. A phone call. His mother was in the hospital. Critical condition. Daniel rushed through the hospital doors. Machines beeping. Doctors shouting. Nurses running. And suddenly, the strong man with strong walls felt like a scared little boy again. The doctor stepped out. "We're doing everything we can, but you should prepare yourself." And for the first time in years, Daniel prayed. Not a perfect prayer. Not a long prayer. Just 3 words. "God, please help." Sitting alone in the hospital hallway, Daniel whispered, "Why should I pray to you? Your people hurt us. Your church abandoned us. Why should I believe you care?" Silence. No thunder. No lightning. Just silence. Until an old janitor sat beside him. The janitor spoke gently. "You look like someone who stopped talking to God." Daniel forced a smile. "It's complicated." The old man nodded. "I stopped going to church for 20 years. Daniel looked surprised. "Why?" The man smiled sadly. "Because church hurt me." Daniel's walls cracked a little. The janitor continued. "But one day God asked me a question that changed my life." Daniel whispered, "What question?" The old man said softly, "Did my people hurt you? Or did I?" Silence filled the hallway. Daniel couldn't answer. Because deep down, he knew the truth. It wasn't God who ignored his family. It wasn't God who whispered behind their backs. It wasn't God who made his mother cry. It was people. Broken people. Human people. Imperfect people. The janitor stood up to leave. Then he turned and said, "Don't let broken people convince you that God has a broken heart toward you." And walked away. Daniel sat frozen. Tears slowly falling. Because for the first time in years, he realized he never stopped believing in God. He just confused God with people. Hours later, the doctor returned. "She's stable." Relief flooded Daniel's chest. Not because of medicine, but because of mercy. Weeks later, Daniel walked past a church building. He stopped. Heart racing. Memories rushing. Pain whispering. But this time, hope whispered louder. He didn't walk in to find perfect people. He walked in to find a perfect God. Church can hurt you. People can fail you. Leaders can disappoint you. But God's heart is not the same as human hands. Don't let people rewrite your story with God. Because sometimes the greatest healing begins when we separate church hurt from God's heart.